Creatures of the night. It's a girl Tati. Let's talk about AEW Collision. We also have Battle of the Belts 12 after this. Yes, you heard that right. Battle of the Belts is still a thing. We started off with BCC 2.0, who comes out. Well, they didn't come out. They were pretty much back there somewhere cutting a promo. John Moxley said something about how him holding a title feel right is what he's been wanting to feel for years. And I'm just like, wait, but aren't you the 4-time AEW world champion? What are you talking about? But whatever. Instead of Pac holding on to the world title like he's been doing these past few episodes, it's Marina who's holding on to the briefcase this time. And we see all the other members of BCC with their trios titles on. They're going against Top Flight, and they let Top Flight have a little message. Let them know that, hey, what's going to happen to you guys tonight on the main event is by definition of execution. Our first match of the night, and what I would say is the best match to me, I will say probably the best match to me, AR Fox versus Ricochet. These two guys are just so freaking amazing. And I'm going to say this, Tony Khan, because I know you watch my reviews. If for whatever reason AR Fox does not come back on AEW TV, you're tripping. This guy is so freaking talented. I just don't understand what it is that we're only getting a chance to see him like every 2 to 3 months, if that. I don't like it. And I'm telling you, the chemistry between these guys are just absolutely amazing. They have a history with each other. They've gone against each other several times. And I do believe they said on commentary that this was their first match that they've had in 10 years. So that was interesting to see. Ricochet is definitely... he hasn't been pinned since he's been in AEW, so that's interesting. And I didn't think that AR Fox would take the win, but I knew we was going to get something really, really sweet between the two of them. You guys got to check this match if you have not seen it. The chemistry was amazing. If anything, y'all could just mute because Shivani is just annoying as hell. I can't stand it. It's basically two baby faces going against each other, and Ricochet ends up taking the win with a vertigo, and then he actually gets on the mic and cuts the promo on Takeshi. He said, look, Takeshi, I don't give a fuck where you are defending that international title. I'm going to be right there. I'm going to be right there seeing what it is that you do because I'm going to get my hands on that title next. Now, maybe they're going for something for Full Gear. That would be great to see Takeshita versus Ricochet for the international title at a Full Gear. I think that would be a really great matchup for that pay-per-view. So now we have Private Party and Daniel Garcia. They're saying, hey, we got trios action tonight. However, once we're done with that, at another date, we'll be going against BCC for those trios title. And I'm just like, oh, that's interesting because Top Flight has a trios title match tonight with BCC. What y'all saying is that y'all have no faith in Top Flight and y'all know they're going to lose and y'all going to get your hands on them titles at some point. Very interesting. Then, after this, we do have Harley Cameron versus Chris Statlander in a decent match. If anything, this was all about showcasing Chris Statlander. Our girl Harley Cameron is improving, so I can appreciate that. However, after Statlander take the win in a short but sweet match, she ends up calling out Camille and said, Camille, it's me and you, bitch. Me and you. And we're going to get these two girls going at it for the Halloween episode of Dynamite. After this, we do have Daniel Garcia and Private Party to come to the ring. They're going against my boys, the Premier Athletes. And if you're look, the match is okay. If you're looking to see butts and abs, Tony Nese gives it to you. Oh God, Josh Woods, these guys, they're Premier Athletes, they sure are. Now, I'll say this. We have Stoley, who is watching from the stage and just keeping his eyes out on Private Party, which for a moment, when he first was spotted, was a distraction for Private Party and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is wearing some, I don't know, elementary school underwear with some new boots. I hate the look. Whoever came up with this idea, fire them, because I don't think it's a good look for him, especially when it's someone, look, maybe it doesn't matter, but for me, Daniel Garcia has put himself in a situation where he is kind of, I don't want to say the leader or anything, but he's the one who's doing a lot of the talking about this whole BCC thing. If you want people to take you seriously, you gotta have a better look. And honestly, Daniel, I wasn't feeling it. And on top of that, Daniel Garcia's not even doing that little humping dance anymore, and that breaks my heart. Daniel Garcia, Private Party takes the win, but if anything, I'm the real winner when having to look at all these sexy men. That I can appreciate. After this, we have an excellent video, a package of LFI. And while they are showing this video package, it's Jake the Snake Roberts who's doing like 90% of the talking, and his raspy voice, the tone of his voice, everything is just perfect with him doing the talking. I'm just like, oh, production value don't kicked in, and it looked absolutely great. And we're seeing the best little clips of LFI, and I'm absolutely loving it. And this was pretty much a message to the Outrunners who that they're going against and saying, hey, look, watch this video package and see how you're gonna get your ass whooped tonight. So after this, they waste our goddamn time with a less than 30-second match of Orange Cassidy going against Bulk Bronson. And I was like, oh, that's my boys. Those are my boys, the Iron Savages. Why would they just come out here and lose in less than 30 seconds? If anything, TwinCon, why did you even put Orange Cassidy on my TV screen? I'm over it. After this, they waste our time again with our girl Jamie Hayter going against Brooke Havoc in, I want to say, like less than 2 minutes. For what? I have no clue. What is going on here? Jamie Hayter just got here, and I have not that she's horrible or anything. It's not that. It's just that we have not yet seen anything of importance with her. It's like, hey, we're bringing her back, but we don't have anything for her to do. And I'm just like, I don't know. There's just something about it where it's just like, she's been giving us the fashions. And, you know, other than that, I have not yet seen anything that I want to see yet. And honestly, this is Jamie Hayter we're talking about. She left. Her last match before she was gone from her injury was her putting her world title on the line, and she ended up losing it. She actually wrestled with a fucked up shoulder and still gave us a really great match and dropping that title. And then she come back and we're doing nothing of importance with her. After the match, we do have Penelope Ford who comes on the big screen, and pretty much she's just like, oh, everybody has forgotten about her. And it's been like, what, 2 years? And the last time she had a match was her being partners with Jamie Hayter, and that she's coming for Jamie Hayter. And I'm just like, okay, I'm glad to see, Penelope getting some TV time. That's great or whatever. But I wish things were a little bit more interesting, especially for Jamie Hayter. We've been anticipating her for a long time. No shade to you, Penelope. We did miss you, but you've been gone for so long that we kind of just forgot about you, like you said. But something about this is just, I don't know. This is Jamie Hayter. I anticipated more. Now, after this, we do have Private Party and Daniel Garcia that's back there celebrating a win, but then they see Orange Cassidy, dumbass, and they're just like, hey, look, Orange, it's time for you to step up and be the leader of this whole Team AEW against Team BCC. But I don't think that Orange Cassidy is like interested, if that's the case. Now look, there's some people, they're ready to fight, but we don't want to be the leader of the fight, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we're getting with him. But I do want to say this too, that I'm noticing that Orange Cassidy has been, if this even matters, probably ain't none, but I've noticed that he has been wearing darker colors. He always used to wear the white shirt with that ugly picture of himself on it, but this time he's been wearing the black shirt of the ugly picture of himself on it, and he's wearing darker denim colors. So for me, I'm wondering if that is foreshadowing maybe him being a heel or something. If that's the case, it's really hard to see, to be completely honest with you, because Orange Cassidy is for the kids or whatever. So I don't know, I'm just noticing little things, and honestly, he doesn't necessarily seems to be too interested in being a leader. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little more into the show. Up next, we have a really great match with Atlantis Jr. versus Kyle Fletcher. Now, for anyone who may have seen this or didn't, months ago when Kyle Fletcher was the Ring of Honor TV champion, he was killing it, absolutely killing it. Then one day he went to CMLL and had a match with Atlantis Jr. And Atlantis Jr., and I'll never forget this because I'm still traumatized till this day, Atlantis Jr. beat Kyle Fletcher with 2 frog splashes. I'll never be the same again. So now here we are running it back months later when none of these guys have the TV title. Now, great matchup, great chemistry with these guys. Atlantis Jr. is looking great. Kyle Fletcher is looking great. The haircut, that's something else. But in terms of his in-ring ability, he's doing great. However, things start switching up for Atlantis Jr. when Kyle Fletcher rips his mask. Well, not off, but you can see some of his face where he rips his mask, and things start to change a little bit. You really see how aggressive Kyle Fletcher is in the ring. Thank you for having Uncle Don and Nigel McGuinness on commentary, because Cervani is so unbearable, and I love having two heel commentators sitting there just yapping. I love it. Now, Kyle Fletcher, he ends up taking the win, and rightfully so. Kyle Fletcher, they're building him up to whatever the situation is. Maybe having another match with Will Ospreay. I'm not necessarily sure. He does get on the mic after the match, and he goes on to say, I'm ready to talk. But I'm ready to talk on Wednesday to explain why he did what he did to Will Ospreay. Whatever situation is, Kyle Fletcher, you don't owe nobody no explanation. You wanted to do what you did. You did what you did, and I'm cool with it. I don't need to hear what the explanation is. I'm cool. After this, we had House of Black in action. Y'all know what that means. When so-and-so is in action, it's a squash. They are going against some local talent, and this is no shade to the local talent. Tony Khan, when you're doing things like this is such an amateur thing that I think he's doing. You know what? You have to find some wrestlers out there that are close in build as the House of Black. You're just getting some smaller guys to be in the ring with House of Black, and you want people to believe that what do you want people to get from that? You're getting the wrong opponents for these squash matches, especially when these bigger guys. Y'all should have picked some bigger guys for them to be in the ring with, so people can actually feel like they're going to see something. You see House of Black with some, I don't want to say scrawny, but they weren't really anywhere near the size of House of Black. And you already knew what was going to happen. Honestly, another fucking waste of time. However, it is good to see House of Black. They look so good. They do. They look so good. After this, Thunder Rosa is going on doing her little interview, talking about whatever the fuck she's talking about, which is not important, to be honest with you. Other than her saying that she had suffered a concussion. I don't know if that's probably true, but I have seen her doing other matches outside of AEW recently. So whatever situation is, she's been wrestling, so I don't know. Now, she's interrupted by Harley Cameron, who is upset about losing her match earlier in that night. And since she's taking up Thunder Rosa TV time, she got her ass punched and laid out onto the ground, and rightfully so. After this, we have LFI versus the Outrunners. So we do have Beast Mortos. Lord have mercy, Beast Mortos, let me have your creature children. He is teaming up with Rouge to go against our boys, the Outrunners. Now, I already knew what was going to happen here, because Jalisco, he's all suited up ringside, and he is helping them cheat. Do they need Jalisco to be doing that? No. However, I felt like this was a good thing for them to do, simply because the Outrunners has had somewhat of a winning streak, and which is like 2-3 matches, whatever. And not just that, but they have been very favored by the fans. They've definitely peaked up in popularity lately, and it's been really great to see how the Outrunners is getting the flowers that they deserve. But I knew that this will be a huge upset for the fans for them to lose clean. So for having Jalisco out there and being nosy and getting himself involved in the match several times, I think helped the Outrunners look like losers, but they lost, but that's because they were cheating, and that's better than them losing clean. Now, after the match, the whole members of LFI was just like, you know what, let's just beat these dudes up and make a statement. To go ahead, and they start stomping out on the Outrunners, and that's when, guess what, y'all already know, FTR comes out to save the Outrunners and get a little cheap pop because of the Outrunners, and they do all their little handshakes and flexing and all these stuff or whatever they do. And honestly, I'm sick to my stomach. I'm so sick to my stomach. After this, we have a video package from Sammy Guevara, who's letting us know that his life has just been wonderful. There's been setbacks in his life, though, but he's coming back and he's going after Shelton Benjamin. And you know what? Good. I would love to see Shelton do what he did to Leo Rush to Sammy Guevara too, because his ass deserve it. I would love to see that. Now, we do have the trios title on the line, and we do have Top Flight versus BCC. The music that BCC is coming to, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. I just don't like it. I don't know what that's about. We could do much better when it comes to the music, and it's just the trios champions going against Top Flight, Action Andretti, and Darius and Dante Martin. This was a great match. I did enjoy it, and I really felt like, okay, there's just no way that these trios titles are going anywhere. My thing was, okay, what's happening with Wheeler Yuta? Wheeler Yuta, the past few times that he has defended the title with Claudio and Pac, he has not been seemingly want to be partners with them. So things have gotten very, very tense between them. However, this time, Wheeler Yuta got no problem working with them, and they have really great chemistry, very dominant chemistry at that. And Top Flight didn't stand a chance, but they put up a good fight. Action Andretti, though, he was the last one in the ring, and he ended up getting 9 uppercuts from all 3 members. They each got him 3 times with uppercuts, and then here comes Pac to take the win with a tombstone pile driver. And y'all already know that the fiasco was not over after that. They end up beating up Top Flight. They even had Leo Rush coming out there. Layla Gray came out there, got her ass whooped too by Marina Shafir, and it's not looking good. Now we move on to Battle of the Belts 12, and the fiasco is still going on. However, this time Dark Order decide that they're gonna come out there and they are going to put their nose in people's business, and that honestly was not a good thing for them, because they end up not only just getting their ass whooped, but then here comes our boy Moxley. He goes, you know what, since y'all asses want to come out here, how about we have an impromptu trios match where y'all can go, Dark Order can go against BCC. They don't got no problem. That little match that they had with Top Flight was just a little warm up. Come bring it. So now we have this impromptu match with BCC versus the Dark Order. Well, maybe I should just say John Silver, since he was the only one really in the ring with them for the majority of the time. Alex Reynolds came out there into the ring one time, and he was wrapped up, taped up, and he just looked horrible, okay? This didn't last long. They end up taking the win via sharpshooter. And after the match, they still was beating up on pretty much everybody that was still out there. So that's when Private Party and Daniel Garcia, they come out there. Even Orange Cassidy came out there. But get this, Orange Cassidy only came out there just to see what was going on. And then he goes, you know what, they got this. They got this. I don't need to come out and do a damn thing. And that was very interesting. I don't know where they're going with the whole Orange Cassidy thing, but seeing Orange Cassidy again on tonight was just not good for me. I'm over it. After this, we had the longest match of the night, almost 20 minutes, almost 20. We had the Continental title on the line. We had Kyle O'Reilly versus Okada, and I love both these guys. I don't know who to cheer for. Really, really great match. This is almost up there with earlier with AR Fox and Ricochet. This was great, but their styles are so different. So depending on what type of style you're looking for, one of these matches will be the best match of the night to you. Now, this was long, and honestly, at this point, I was so putting off by a lot of the shenanigans that was going on from the first 2 hours, where it's just like, okay, there were some things during the show that was a bit of a drag, and even sometimes during the watch along, we were just like, I don't know, playing games and shit, because it was just like, oh my god, Tony Khan, you want to get people to be interested for 3 hours, and especially this, y'all know tape shows have this different vibe about it that is so different from the live shows. So at times it kind of felt boring and like too much was going on and a little hard to process. But this was still a really great match. It's great to see Okada actually doing something. It's just like, oh, every few weeks or a month or so we'll get something out of Okada. And honestly, I love him, but I've been kind of bored with him in AEW. But whatever, he ends up putting on a really great match. We only have 5 minutes left and just under a minute left before the match could end into a draw. Our boy Okada ends up retaining the title. Really, really great matchup, especially for Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly, when are you going to come to your senses and join the boys again? Now, after this, we do have LFI. LFI is basically letting everyone know that they ain't playing around and that they're just getting started. And we only see Jalisco and Roosh. And then out of the blue, we see Beast Mortos choking up Hologram. And I was just like, yes, Beast Mortos is doing the Lord's work. You know what, Hologram? You were in the wrong place, wrong time. And you know what? Things happen. Things happen. After this, for no motherfucking reason at all, Brian Cage is tagged up with Lance Archer to go against John Cruz and Jack Hartwell. Those are my boys. Those are my boys right there. I love them. This made no sense. No sense at all. The title, only one person in this match even have a title, which is Brian Cage. He's not putting it up for grabs. They're going against just two young guys for like less than less than 2 minutes for no reason at all. It was really pretty much just Jack flipping around to get away from them, and John Cruz running around the ring like it was Tom and Jerry or whatever. Nothing of this was absolutely needed. Tony Khan, what the fuck are we doing? These squash matches? This is Battle of the Belts. This has nothing to do with anybody in this ring. At least if Brian Cage was doing a singles match, that would have actually counted for something. But this motherfucking waste of time. Tony Khan, get it together, girl. So now we have Beast Mortos back there with Undisputed Kingdom. Undisputed Kingdom just like, what's going on? What is going on? They gave him a slice of bread. And it's funny because the way his mask is, he can't motherfucking eat it, but it looks hilarious. And then they give him a plate of like ham or some shit, and he's trying to eat that too. And they're trying to get him to get to his senses and just like, what's going on with you and LFI? I thought you was with us. They are not mad at Beast Mortos. They're disappointed. Why does that always feel worse when someone says, I ain't mad, I'm disappointed? Ouch. Beast Mortos probably didn't understand a word that they said. Main event, Mariah May versus Anna Jay. And I'm just going to say this right now for anybody who didn't see this. This match was not for the women's title like everyone thought that it was. And this is important to know because, first of all, I'll say this. Anna Jay has absolutely improved. Her time in Stardom has definitely helped her. Mariah May, she looked good. I had not been sports entertained yet. She had one really great promo on Wednesday that I thought was strong. And other than that, everything else about her title reign has been absolutely just not good to me. Let me say this too before I continue. Battle of the Belts, it feels like it's just not needed, to be honest. If anything, it could be like a special theme episode of Rampage that they do every like 3-4 months or something. I think that would be more effective that way. Also, Battle of the Belts, no title has ever changed hand from a champion to someone who is going for the title. The only time where someone actually won a title was during vacancy. So Sammy Guevara, the very first one, Sammy Guevara and Dustin, they fought for the interim TNT title. And then we had the last Battle of the Belts 11, the one that I went to and I was crying my eyes out, where the 6-man tag Ring of Honor titles were vacant, and it was the Von Erichs and Dustin versus the Undisputed Kingdom, and Dustin and them end up taking the win. For what reason, Tony Khan, I have no clue. Other than that, the show just kind of feels like, what the fuck are we doing? Anna Jay, though, she gives a good fight and actually ends up taking the win. And everybody and their mama is just like, oh, holy shit. Even us watching the show, we was like, oh my God, new champion, new champion. Everybody also in the audience were reacting that way too. And I guess no one truly realized that the title is not on the line. This was an eliminator match, so that if Anna Jay won, she would get to actually go for the women's title. So Anna Jay won, and in 2 weeks' time, she'll be able to go against Mariah May for the title, which is interesting. And you know what's so funny? Mariah obviously is shocked that Anna Jay won the match, but her reaction of her being shocked was just like as if she lost the title too. So it was really, really interesting how that all played out. So no titles has changed hands once again. Y'all know how this shit goes. It's the same old shit over and over again. Tony Khan, we over it. I don't know what else we can do at this point. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Wednesday for another review on Dynamite. I'll see you guys then. Bye.